We need to talk.
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 Welcome back to Me to Talk, episode number 39. I'm your host, MR.KOA, alongside
Top War.
And we have a female guest, which is always fun.
What?
Hello, Greta.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I know you have a podcast.
Yes, I do.
I've actually heard a couple episodes. You're pretty good.
Excellent. I was just asking you if you did too.
Yes, I have. Before we get into this, let's just discuss the fact that I have 3 more days of work from the fuck out of her.
This guy taking every opportunity.
Super
to
excited.
remind
Bro,
his
I
friends.
am so amped and I am so disinterested every time I go to work.
You just like zoned out now.
Like this week,
Yeah.
I'm emotionally just checked out.
Yeah.
And I think my boss knows now. Like today, he let me go to that at 3 o'clock today.
That's good.
Like we're
Half day.
bro, we're doing work today, and we're just kind of going like reports and stuff. And he's like, basically, I'm trying to transition stuff now because
Other people?
no, it's a small company.
Oh, okay.
So it's an insurance brokerage, but there's only 5 of us.
Okay.
Or 4 of us now, actually. And soon to be 3 of us when I leave. But they're very well. Like, they have big accounts and stuff, but I manage 35 accounts. So what I was doing was stuff he didn't want to do, and he's my boss, and his mother's the owner. So
Okay.
it's right. So
Family
it's like
owned?
right. So
Yeah.
she's away on vacation right now. She just left last week, so I'm never gonna see her again, which is amazing.
You don't like her?
It's not that I don't like her. I just don't
Not
really
your favorite
care.
person?
Yeah.
Okay.
But me and him have been cool, right? He's only 31, so we're pretty close in age. But he dreads his mom. Like
Oh, her too?
he
funny.
it's your mom, and it's like it's the point, like especially when
And it's your boss,
and it's
too.
your boss, right?
Okay, yeah.
So well, they're kind of partners, but she still kind of has the final say. But anyway, so she's out of town, and it's just me and him. And basically, what's gonna happen is when my job was kind of directly to her. I didn't really work too much with him. But he was still my boss, but I didn't really work too much with him. I managed most of her accounts. And the issue is now that I'm leaving, he kind of has to
Pick up the
slack
Yeah.
and be more in contact with his mom, which
Yeah.
he didn't really want to do, right?
He's going to hire someone, right?
He's not hiring,
Tomorrow.
and he doesn't want to hire anybody because he doesn't know if he wants to stay either. There's like a lot of mix up. He's like, I don't know if I'm gonna even be here, and
Oh
like,
my God. He's going to get a beat
right.
from his mom.
So he's stressed and going through some shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And he went through a breakup, so he's kind of just going through some stuff. And he talks to me about it all the time. But yeah, his story, just briefly, is basically he lived with his girlfriend. It's not a fucked up story actually, and it's a good thing to tell because we're doing a relationship
we can
talk
talk about
podcast.
it, yeah.
But so he went to where'd he go? Taiwan. He went to Taiwan a while ago.
Alone?
Alone, yeah.
Okay.
Went to Taiwan a while ago alone. Met some girl out there and fucked her. Cool. He's like, all right, met some girl. True, we fucked. All right, I'm going back home. And she's like, oh, I'm going to come visit you. Like back in Canada. She's from the States. And he's like, oh, sure, cool. You know, like when I get back, you can come visit if you want. She comes visit. They end up, fast forward, they end up dating.
Oh.
This chick he fucks in Taiwan. Now they're dating. She moves. He pays for her like her work permit, all this stuff, and gets her to come stay with him. Fast forward, they live together. They have a dog together. But she's dense. Like she's dumb. Like just a ditzy girl, right? But
she's hot.
But she's hot.
I knew it.
Right? So
it.
so he fell for her. Like like strictly fell in love with her. But like he's a very smart guy. So he gets irritated about just simple dumb shit she doesn't get.
We
right?
can't have an intellectual conversation,
Right.
I think, right?
So he would just consume himself at work, right? And then he would just go home, right? But then over time, he would lose affection, and then he would get very frustrated, and they started to fall apart. So recently, she decided they should break up, right? They've been dating for 2 years, lived together, had a dog together. He bought a dog for her, but for them.
Yeah.
And she's like, and she's rich. Keep in mind.
Oh, she's rich?
She's super rich.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Super rich. Her family's
she's
rich.
rich and hot?
Family's
But
rich.
she's dumb.
Has money.
She's from the States?
From the States. Her
Where?
family's back in
Where?
the States. Rhode Island.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Money.
So just money. And so she doesn't really care. Like she doesn't understand, doesn't appreciate certain things. And he makes good money, but he busts his ass for it. Anyways, so they broke up, and she's like, I'm taking a dog. Right? So now he's like,
take the dog.
it's his dog, like it's their dog.
He bought it.
He bought it for you, but you can't just take, like, anyways. Long story short, she's like, I'm taking the dog. I'm moving back home with my parents. We need some time. So he's like lonely as fuck right now. Like he's stressed. He's just,
Poor
you
guy.
know. So anyways, she still keeps calling him, right? And she's like, oh, you should come visit me.
Where?
In the States. So he flew out there because he's still in love.
He flew out there?
He flew out there to see her, but he's still in love with her. Took time off, flew out to see her, and comes back and he's pissed. And I'm like, what's good? He's like,
what happened?
He's like, she's just playing with me. Like, she doesn't want to be together, but she wants my attention. But like when I tell,
toying with him.
it's like, but why? What was the point of you breaking up and moving if you still want to see me? Like just a whole mess. Anyways, so he's dealing with that, and then I quit, and now he's like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
So he's going through a lot right now. Long story short, we're doing some work today, and he just couldn't focus. Like we're working on the report, and he's like, he just keeps scrolling through the same thing over and over again, and I'm just watching him. And I'm like,
Poor guy.
I'm like, and he looks at me. He's like, "Do you have any more work to do right now?" I'm like, "Well, not that much." He's like,
Can you help me?
"Go home."
Oh,
Like,
okay.
he's like, "Just go home." I'm like, "All right."
You
he's
too.
like, "Yeah."
Poor guy.
Because he's like, he knows my last week. He knows I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck, and he's like, he's
Yeah.
stressed. We're just like, he's like, "I think you should just go home." I'm
And
like,
boss
"Poor
is not
guy."
there, really.
I'm like, "All right."
We should have him on the next one.
Bring him
Poor
up
guy.
some-
Yeah, just give him some therapy sessions.
But yeah, so I'm excited about that. But I know you have a podcast, so tell us about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, well, my name is Greta.
Yes.
So on the podcast, I'm Miss Six.
Yeah.
Don't judge.
Miss Six.
Miss Six.
What?
I know, it's weird, but I didn't want to know.
Is that self-proclaimed?
No, it wasn't. It was actually the creator of the whole channel. His name is Paul Anthony, and
Yeah.
he's like, okay, we need a catchy name for you. So like, let's do Miss Six. So you can't do Miss Nine.
Wait, is Paul Anthony a photographer?
No, Paul Anthony is a hairstylist.
Oh, okay.
So how I met him is through my day job. So I'm an esthetician. So I work with him in a family-owned business as well in Mississauga. So he's like, you like to talk? I like to talk. I'm going to start a podcast. You should be on it. And then it evolved from there. And he's like, you have like your own little like vibe to you. So he's like, just do your own thing. And then we'll kind of condense a few channels or a few different episodes into one main channel. And that's how the whole like not after 30 and before 30 kind of thing started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my little like thing. And
It's actually one. There's multiple.
it's, I guess it's like one like family channel.
Where
and
can
then
people
there's
find this right now?
Oh, on iTunes, SoundCloud.
As what? Named as what?
Oh, not after 30.
Okay, so it's not after 30 is
yes,
the
is
name
the main channel, like how you guys say we need to talk.
Okay.
And then obviously mine will just be before 30 and then Miss 6 and
and
whatever
those are
those items.
segments kind of thing?
Exactly.
Got you. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So pretty
So how do you
excited
feel about that?
I actually like, I'm
podcast
loving
work?
it. It's
Yeah?
like we recorded one yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling Z. And we have one coming out next week for Mental Health Awareness Week. So it'll be a good one, I think.
What is the theme, if you have one, of the like what?
Through my whole podcast? Or
Yeah, like what if someone? Why am I listening to your podcast? Like, what
so
is
basically,
it?
it's like a millennial's journey to 30.
Okay.
So that's what I kind of play it as. And
Yeah.
so past experiences, what we're obviously dealing with right now, our hopes and dreams for, I guess, like the big 3-0. I
Right.
think maybe women like have it.
Yeah,
more
no,
like
it's true.
thing. Okay.
How old are you right now?
I'm 27.
Okay, so we're
I
same
turned
age.
27 in
Yeah.
September. But yeah, that's pretty much what we like to talk about, and we keep it raw, like you guys. So we just.
And is there are there plans for after 30? Like what happened?
Yeah, I guess.
So-
I haven't thought about it yet. Maybe I won't even be interested in doing it after I'm 30.
Okay, so
I'm
it's
not
a kind of-
sure.
you
Yeah,
never know,
like
right?
if I have like a family, I don't want it to be like a family thing because I don't think my followers are in that
Right,
time.
right.
Whatever. I guess if they obviously get older, I'm gonna get older too.
Yeah, yeah.
But I guess we'll see.
Okay.
Time will tell.
Cool. Dope.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying it.
Do you have any questions for Greta?
We were talking a lot beforehand.
Yeah, but
I was just saying,
but they didn't hear you talking a lot.
It's true.
beforehand.
And we've never met before, so I like
Yeah.
walked
You're
in the
telling
door.
me you're talking a lot.
I know, like
they know
we never met before. Like
No,
literally
never.
the first time I met her is when she showed up at the crib.
Yeah.
But we talk a lot of shit.
We
on
do
social
already
media.
on
Yeah.
social media.
Like her and I talk a lot of shit back and forth with each other.
See y'all flirting this year?
What?
What?
Huh?
I didn't hear what he
I
said.
didn't hear actually. Play it back. Let me-
I says, were y'all flirting and shit?
Oh,
No, we
relax.
just talk shit.
We just talk a lot of
That's
shit.
what they call it. No?
Speaking of flirting, we're gonna segue into this week's question.
Yes, this quick question is a good question. Actually.
This week's question.
Yeah, you put it out there, right?
So button. It was a button today.
Yeah, Ryan decided to ask
Poke
people
the bear.
drop your favorite position. You can also drop your questions here as well. And before we answer this, I have to say something. There are a lot of people every week who comment on our posts, right? Those people were quiet this week. They decided not to
really?
answer.
Awfully silent.
Awfully silent.
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys didn't see it? No?
They're timid.
No, you guys didn't see the post? No? You missed this one. Oh, okay.
Catherine, I know you fucking saw it because you comment every day.
Oh, wait. Y'all don't have sex? Oh, my.
Oh,
I'm
true,
sorry.
true,
I'm sorry, guys.
true.
Or starfish sex.
Oh, or just starfish.
They don't want to.
Shy soul, I know you watch. I know you listen.
Calling out Z.
I said I was gonna call out names. Like, me and I were talking about this earlier. I'm like, I'm gonna call out their names because I know they watch and comment every
And they didn't
week.
comment this time.
They didn't comment this
see it.
time.
They didn't see it. It's the algorithm, of course.
Yeah,
It's gotta be the algorithm.
it's the algorithm.
It's the algorithm.
Right? That's why they didn't answer.
Sorry, you guys missed it, right? Yeah, sorry.
But so we'll answer some of those. There are also some really good questions here as well that we'll
Yes.
get to. Maybe we can actually answer this question first because it relates to the whole sex thing. Supreme Life, MR.KOA, she said, can good sex be taught? You meet someone and you vibe well, but the sex is off, but not horrible. I remember Ryan saying not to settle for trash sex. So do you think that good sex can be taught?
No. And I'm very firm on that.
Yeah.
I believe you can get better at it. I don't believe I don't believe you can teach someone to have good sex, because I feel like your interpretation of what good sex is to you is at a level.
Yeah,
like
you're right.
you have this level of like, this is good sex. Like, just without me having to say a goddamn word, this is what I want. Now, if you aren't there, I don't know if I could ever bring you to doing exactly what I want, and then I don't feel good because that wasn't naturally you.
Okay, but here's my question for you.
Go ahead.
So, okay. You know how you said like you have this idea of what good sex is, right? Is that idea, when you think of that idea, do you attach it to a person?
That's what I wanted to know.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's
it's to an experience.
It's to an experience.
To an experience.
Okay, so here's my thing, right? Like, I think I'm on the same page. Okay. I don't think you can teach someone how to have good sex. I definitely think you can
improve.
Absolutely. But I've gotten to the habit of not comparing, because that's kind of what you do when you say like, okay, this is my idea of good sex. Okay, you end up comparing that person to the other.
But everything is a
But you're
comparison.
low-key comparing everything all the time.
Everything is a
don't
comparison.
Because what happens is, remember when I talked last week?
Maybe subconsciously.
No. Remember when I talked last week about how sex is like a drug? Right?
Yeah,
so when I got out of sex with my ex, and then I just had like really good sex with someone else, I didn't compare it to my ex in the sense where I was like, oh, okay, this is better than my ex, or this is just as good.
No, you don't have to.
What I did was I was like, I just took that sex for what it is with her. Okay. And I was like, oh shit, this is amazing. Right. But I didn't compare it to that past one.
Okay, when I say comparison, I'm not saying you're consciously making a decision like, okay, the sex
like
right here, this sex right here, how good was it to, actually? Like how like you're not, it's not like that. It's more just like, once you've experienced something, I don't have to put a name to it anymore. I just know this is a feeling. I'm not even thinking necessarily like this was with Ashley, but I know I've experienced this particular feeling. The name doesn't even matter at this point. Yeah, you just what I'm feeling right now. What I'm feeling right now is not whatever that was. So this is decent, but the fact that I'm being aware that this isn't what that is means I'm not enjoying myself.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So second question. This is for both people. Okay, all the great experiences that you've had with sex. Yes. It happened off the bat, right? Did you have to work up to that? Because in my experience, if I'm gonna say great sex, it was like the first time I had sex. It was great,
immediate, and it just gets better from there. It's like yo, this is already good, and now it's like, wow, we can only go further.
See, and that's my threshold, right? Like it's
immediate. It's like
I understand that sex can get better.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I've had sex with people, and like over time, it's gone like significantly better. Of course, but it's different when you vibe with someone right off the bat.
Yeah, like it's super hot and heavy.
Yeah. And the thing is, my thing is like, you can't teach nasty. You cannot teach nasty. Like,
I agree.
If a girl comes to me and she's just doing a whole bunch of shit on her own, and I'm like, oh my god, like you are disgusting, and I love it. And I love it. If another girl comes to me and starts doing stuff and it's kind of like shy and kind of whatever, I can't make you do that. Like, I can't.
You can tell her.
No, what? I will never tell a girl that. Could you just spit on?
Well, you can like.
I will never. No, I'm not saying.
Like,
no.
Direct her.
You can direct in terms of You can direct in terms of feeling. Like, if she's already doing something, you could be like, do it a little bit this way. Right. But I can't make you disgusting. I can't do that.
I mean, I know what you mean.
I won't feel good. Like, but just be gross. Be gross. Like, what? Okay, I can't say that to you. But if you do on your own, I'm like, oh shit.
I'll be real. Like, I've been in position. Sorry. I've been in situations where girls are like dirty or freaky like that, but they like being told what to do. You know what I mean? So to Greta's point, like I've had sex where I tell girls what to do, but it's because like that's how they get off. Like they want to be.
That's different though.
But how did you know that they like that?
Because I had that conversation with them.
Oh, beforehand.
I was like,
okay.
I was like,
but that is different because that's kind of like a.
It's like
that's kind of like
fetish.
that's like a fetish. Like they're waiting for you to do that,
like
so they
Christian Grey type
can
shit.
unleash something. That's different. That's like they're like, okay,
I'm fine with that though.
No, that's fine. But I'm saying what you're saying is different because it's like they're already a certain way, but they're like, for me to get to this point, I just need a guy to say this. Then there's girls like they don't have that, but they know you like that, and they're trying to do that because they're just trying to do that because you like it, but you're like, but it's not natural for you.
That's fair. Like you know what I mean?
Like that's,
you can tell when someone is like doing it and it's not.
and it
natural
gets worse
for them.
because like they're trying to please you, because they know you like a certain thing, but you're like, but you're not. Like, okay, here's the best example.
You're just like you're being an actor right now. Like it's not naturally you.
Here's the best example for both men and women. Oral sex, for example, right? You know, like for a fact, when the guy enjoys what he's doing.
Yeah.
Versus when it's
guy's
like
just doing it
he's doing it because like, okay, this is for a place where we do this. Like, you suck my dick, we'll get. Like, but and then it's like, I'm going to make you come. Like I'm doing this to destroy you. Like you can't teach someone to want that desire to please me. Like you can't teach someone. Like want to kill me. Like,
That's why I told. We talked about this
Sucking souls.
Like a long time ago. This dude said to me, he's like, he's like, I don't really like going down on my girl, and I was like, that's probably because you're not good at it, right? Like I straight up said, like, you're probably not good at it. That's why you don't like it, right? And I strongly believe that, right? So,
that's the question.
So you could teach that.
What? Teach what?
Oral.
Here's my opinion. Here's my opinion.
I don't know about that either.
I think a woman can. I think they can direct guys better because I think it's okay.
What, you mean better than a guy?
Here's my opinion. It is hard. It is 100% harder to get a girl off through oral sex as opposed to a guy. Like,
I'd like to object.
You think it's hard?
I think it's harder for you to get a guy off perfectly. How he likes it, how sloppy it should be.
He just means climax period.
Climax
period. Not hard. He can hate it. He's still gonna nut. He can always just trash.
It's not hard. But like, if a woman is not into it, like
you're right. You're not gonna get it.
You might be down there forever. Like she's gonna go dry. There's nothing you can do.
You have saliva on there and still going dry.
So
how is that possible?
I think like a woman can tell a guy like do this, and it still might not even work, right? Because I think mood is a big part of it as well, right? For dudes, like he said, we don't need the mood. We can just be horny and it'll happen. But can you teach it?
I think it falls in the same category as sex. Like it's oral, but it's still a version of sex.
So I think like if you can teach it with oral, I don't know. Because I'm obviously performing the oral on say a man. Yeah. Like it's hard to know what he likes or what he doesn't like, or again, like what kind of dirtiness he likes or what kind of sloppiness he likes. Obviously, sloppy head is probably the best head. Regardless.
Not always, but continue.
But exactly. So like even if I ask you like, Kate, how do you want me to suck you off today, Ryan? Yeah. Like it's hard to say. Like you're like, okay, I wanted a little bit like 10% hand, 20% sloppy.
I'll cut you off. Cut you off. I don't think that's a discussion you have to have technically. Like I don't think you have to actually ask a guy like, how do you want this? Because no, seriously, I don't think you really have to ask us. I think there's a threshold where it's like, like we're all adults. Like you've done it a couple times that to the point you're like, this has worked with majority guys. Yeah. Most majority guys don't like this. Yeah. For the most part, we're the same. For the most part. Not all the same, but for the most part, like, if most guys like when I do this a certain thing, this is my thing. You know what I mean? So do that. Like, for me, like, I've definitely learned, I'm like, I've done certain things with certain girls, and if I'm like, this works, I'm like, I'm doing this again. Yeah, and every time. And I know for a fact now, I'm like, I know if I do this particular thing on probably any girl, it will work. So I don't have to ask her like, do you like? I'm like, this works on the female body. Like this is something I'm doing and it's working. So I don't really have to ask you like, how do you like it? Just you kind of do what you're good at. Yeah. What you think has your.
But what if the girl's like not good at it? Like, what do you do? Like, do you just like stop? Just pull her off?
We don't have to do this.
I never said that. I just moved on to the next phase.
We don't have to do this.
Do you actually?
Okay. Yeah, because like, look,
I've said that. You don't have to do this. You don't.
I've never said. I've
said it. But not a rude way. Just kind of like we can just have sex. Like.
Okay.
Like, don't worry. Like, just put it in. Don't worry.
I just move on to the next phase.
Just put it in. It's cool.
But you know what the funny thing is? Is like when we had when we had Ebony on, right?
Yeah.
She had mentioned that, you know, she slept with a dude. The dude was like trash. And like, she didn't tell him that this guy wasn't that great. Yeah. So I'm like, this dude's probably walking around town thinking
he's small, right?
Yeah.
He's like
walking around town thinking he's the shit, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I had a girl once tell me, I'm not ashamed to admit this. Like, I had a girl once tell me that, you know how you just said you do one thing on one girl in terms of going down and you think it's going to work? So that literally has applied to every girl I've been with except this one girl.
It didn't work.
Like,
it didn't work.
I was like, yo.
Were you sweating?
You're baffled.
I was actually baffled. Like, when she told
like, what is going on?
I was like, what do you mean the code doesn't work?
Seriously.
This guy's like, I'm pressing.
You know what it is? So it's like, when I was doing it, like, everything was cool, but I didn't get her to that point. So then
you didn't feel satisfied.
I didn't feel satisfied. So like later, like I would say a couple days later, her and I were talking about it, and she was like, yeah, like, try this. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was cool with it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this. It didn't like shake my ego.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, damn, the code did not work this time. I was actually kind of pissed.
It's not flawless, but
So if I felt like that,
mine is, but
okay, yeah. If I felt like that, imagine how, you know,
other girls would feel.
A girl would feel, right?
Sure.
Because we said, like, if I told a girl like her sex was trash, I feel like that would destroy. I feel like that would destroy her.
For sure.
Whereas if a girl told me my sex was trash,
but I don't think we would say it like that.
I would never say, yo, your sex is trash. If I really thought the sex was trash,
you wouldn't even you stop fucking her.
We wouldn't have sex again. I don't say. I want to say.
But then they know anyways.
Do you think they know?
Of course.
Be honest. You think they know?
I think they would know. What? I think I know
just
when
had
you're
sex.
lying.
We just had sex. We'll never have sex ever again.
Exactly.
We had sex once, and after that time we had sex.
You never want.
You
never want to do it ever again.
I didn't say I cut you off. I didn't say I cut you off.
Guess why are you still talking?
Yeah, you're gonna respond to my text tomorrow, not like at.
We already went over this last week because of how I am. Like, I'm a human being. I'm gonna talk to you still.
No, but she's okay.
Don't roll your eyes.
No, I think that you make more of an like you're an effort to people that you want to see again or fuck again or talk to again. So obviously you're not gonna maybe respond to her until 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry, I was busy. Sure you were. It takes 2 seconds. You can text when you're on the toilet.
No, but I've gone. This guy knows. I've gone on so much about this.
What she's saying, but you know exactly what she's saying. If you just had sex with this person, and then
the sex was
horrible. In your opinion,
they
terrible. In your opinion, they might have liked it.
Oh damn, that's
it wasn't horrible for her. I can tell you that right now.
Okay, well, hey.
so she's gonna still try and climb you.
Right. So in her opinion, it was good. In your opinion, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Now, if she, most likely she's gonna be like, oh, so you know, we see each other again, and we should be talking. But she's like, oh, like I really had a good time, blah blah. And you're not gonna be receptive to that. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, it was cool, blah blah.
I told the girl I didn't enjoy the sex.
When did you tell her?
That's what I'm saying. That's the only solution is you saying that. Otherwise, she's gonna be like, oh, so can I come by again?
She's gonna try again.
And you're gonna keep having to make excuses. And she'll be like, okay, I know this guy.
Yeah, like I've straight up said.
Eventually, she's gonna ask like, so.
Hopefully,
I should have said like I just didn't think we vibed really well.
Yeah.
There was one time where I went down like this girl because I don't like sleeping around, right? All my friends call me like the lover man. Yeah. They joke around because like anytime I end up sleeping with someone, it's usually just with that person. Right. So
usually,
yeah, this one girl that I was sleeping with for like an extended period of time, like I wasn't like going down on her much. And
like you didn't want to?
I didn't want to.
Why?
Because
she stink?
She didn't stink. Like she was very cleanly, but I didn't like the taste. So I was like, yeah, like it was, but it wasn't. I don't know. Okay, here's my thing. Just to
are we going down there?
Yeah, we are. Just to be perfectly clear about this, it's not like it tasted awful.
Right.
It's just every girl that I had gone down on before, I couldn't tell you what it tasted like.
It tastes like nothing.
It tastes like nothing.
It just tastes like nothing, and you're okay with that.
But this tasted like something.
I don't want to taste anything.
Tastes like what?
I don't want to have a taste.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I don't want anything.
This tasted like something.
Most
and
because
it tasted like something, like
I
was like, oh, and because I tasted it every time, I was like, I'm not enjoying this, which means like you're not gonna enjoy this
because I'm not in it.
So
I'm not into this.
So fam, like I'll never forget, like. One day she brought it up. She's like, why don't you go down anymore? Why don't you go down? And I was just like, I don't know what I said.
I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall.
I don't know what I said to get out of this,
without being mean.
Out of this conversation without being
an asshole.
But I would just, needless to say, like I did not continue sleeping with that girl.
How long? If you don't mind asking, how long were you sleeping with her?
Probably for like 3 months.
3 months.
4 months. And like I like going down on girls that I like, right? So, you know, this was like very odd to me. And then on the flip side of that, there's a girl that I was like sleeping with years ago who never went down on me, like ever. She didn't do that, period. And that was weird.
Or just to you?
No. Because I'm not gonna expose. Like,
because I know that other guy too, and nobody else got it either.
She just didn't do it, right? So I was like, this is weird. Like, it's weird when you are absent without something that you're used to getting. So over time, I was like, yo, this is kind of weird that this isn't happening. And then I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Were you going down on her? No, like that was the other thing too.
You had no oral sex, period.
So wait, you didn't go down on her because she wasn't going down on you. So you're being spiteful.
You're petty.
No, I wasn't being petty.
She's like, oh, so you're not gonna give me hell?
No, she didn't. I don't.
She didn't want it either.
She didn't want it, and I was like, maybe it's good. In my head, I'm just like, yo, you just haven't been gone down on by the right person to know that. I'm like, let me do that, and she's like, no. So I'm not the type that's gonna like force it on a girl. She doesn't want it, but at the same time, I wasn't with this girl long enough to even really care.
Okay,
right? So
that makes sense.
If it was a girl that I was dating, it'd be a different story.
Right.
But like, this wasn't a girl that I was dating by any means.
Do you guys do the same things to the girl you're dating to a girl you just fuck like the first time?
What do you mean?
Wait,
like, it's a first fuck with a random. Oh, how do I word this? Okay, do you do the same things to a girl that you've been with? Let's say that you're actually dating.
Okay.
That you're like claiming her, whatever. Do you do the same things to her that you do to that just like a random fuck?
When you say
like,
same things, like the entire process?
Yeah.
It depends because like
do you pull all those stops for like a random girl?
First of all, I'll tell you right now, I don't go down on just random girls.
Yeah, which you shouldn't.
That too.
I don't do that. Okay. Right? Like that's not happening.
So they're already losing that.
They're already losing that.
Yeah.
In terms of like, am I doing the same things? Yeah. Like, there's too many variables. Like, for example, if I meet a girl and there's liquor in the system, there's a good chance I'm probably not doing all the same things that I would do because I'm not like as mentally present. Okay. Right. So, because when I'm sober, like I know all the things that I'm doing.
Usually it's the opposite. Usually like.
You're more reckless when you're. I'm reckless when I'm drunk.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not reckless when I'm drunk. I'm just saying.
I know I've gone down girls for the first like that. I don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
When I don't normally do that normally, but because I'm drunk, I'll go down a girl I don't really know, and I'm like, fuck. But you know what I mean? Because I don't eat on random girls. Yeah. But if I'm drunk, I'm down. I'm like, fuck, why am I doing? Ugh, fuck it. Like, but I'm already drunk, right? Yeah. But if I was sober, I wouldn't normally do that. So but when you're drunk, you're like. Whatever. Like
that's like with me too. I don't do everything that I would do like to.
Yeah, like
which I don't really hook up. I'm like you. I like to keep it like the same thing. Yeah. But definitely like it'll build over time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking. I don't know if it would deter like that guy. Like, oh, it was just like mediocre.
Oh, because it was early.
Because it was early.
And you didn't get everything.
I'm like, I'm not trying to pull all the nastiness for you. Like, how do I know you're gonna stick around?
Yeah, he's like,
let me
commit.
Let me see if let me see if you're worth it. Because I don't want you to go and tell your boys like, oh, I did this and this
and got everything.
And then what's tomorrow?
It's true. No, that's very true.
Can I tell you something though? Like we spoke about this in a group chat, and I don't know if girls know this because. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you talk to your girlfriends about the sex that you're having with a guy that like you're with? No,
I usually like am more like protective of.
But
if I'm claiming him.
Have you been around girls who do this?
No.
You really? Yeah, you're the first girl.
A lot of my girls are like very reserved.
Yeah. You're the first girl I've heard this because I'm not even bullshitting. Like a lot of girls I've spoken to, they're like. Yeah, I've talked to my girlfriends about the sex that I've had with my boyfriend or whatever. I will never show my man's dick to my girls.
No, that's wild.
Never.
But that's wild.
Random dicks that I'll get, I'll be like, yo, look at this stupid ass dick I just got.
That's the same though. I'm not showing my girls' titties to my man's.
It's kind of the same thing where it's like you wanna. I guess you're proud of them, so you're just kind of keeping them sheltered and to yourself, right?
Okay.
No, but when he says talking about sex, he doesn't mean like
like what you did.
We had sex last night. It's more just like if you're not dating yet, you might be like, okay, like I really like this guy and the sex was great. Like,
oh yeah, like
you know what I mean? Like
keep it,
like just
really,
super, yeah.
But put like this,
like I'm not telling my guys details. Like, yo, the sex with my girl was like,
look, an easy way to tell if a guy likes a girl, if he doesn't talk to his boys about the sex that they're having,
like specifics.
Like if I like a girl, Ryan will never know. Like,
oh, really?
He'll never know what type of, like, what the
Like
sex
how
is,
the sex is.
how the sex is. He'll just be like, and I'll be like,
cool, we're good. All right, we're good.
we're good.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
But if it's just like
if it's a chick, it's like, yo, this girl came over, blah, 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 blah.
okay,
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But
so I guess we're like that
Yeah.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
because it was just funny because like I've spoken to a lot of girls who said the opposite.
we tell details of
Really?
the boyfriend?
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, I don't think you should do that.
A lot
Yeah,
of
that's
girls,
weird.
right?
Because I think you should keep something.
Yeah,
like
and
between
the thing
you
is,
guys.
I don't tell details about my girlfriend or the girl that's going to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because you have to see her.
Yeah, my boy,
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
you
Like,
want that,
see it.
like, I know what that mouth did.
Yeah.
Like you have to see
Like,
her.
you
So
know
like
what I
I'm
mean?
telling you, like my girl's like my girl was doing stuff. Like that's weird.
No, just know I'm pleasing.
Yeah.
Her.
One thing to
We're
address
good
your
to
question though about doing things differently is one thing for me that I'm very specific about is I don't kiss a lot, like to random girls.
go. Got it.
If I'm really into you, I'm kissing a girl like a lot. If you're just a random, I don't kiss, and I like it's blatant where it's like it's
You
blatant.
fucked without ever giving a girl a
Of course,
kiss.
absolutely.
I'm shocked. I like.
If I'm not in, I don't kiss. Like I don't just kiss girls.
But aren't you just attracted to her? Like, and don't you just that isn't that the first kind
No,
of
like
touch?
I can be attracted to someone and be like, I'm attracted to your body, I'm attracted to how you look, whatever. But I might not want to kiss. Like, kiss for me, this is for me. Like,
Personal?
For me to kiss, like, it's like I have to really want you because the way I kiss is it's passionate kissing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, same.
I'm being dead ass. Like, I'm not just kissing random chicks. Like, I'm not the guy that's kissing in clubs. Like, I don't just kiss. Like,
So you'll put your
I
dick in there,
hate
but you
that.
won't kiss it.
fine.
But that's
Like,
strange to me.
I'm serious. Like, I just feel like kissing is something I feel like I would do with, like a girl I really like, and like especially like I'll do like little like stupid little kisses, like kissing her thigh, like kissing.
Right.
Like I'm not just do that with just
That,
like
okay,
some
okay,
chicks.
hold on. That I fully understand.
Okay.
That I fully understand. But you're telling me like you won't do like a little 1, 2, like one
like to
kiss.
get it going. I don't know. Like what's
Like,
the
I'll kiss, but I'm not gonna make out. And I'm not gonna.
I'm not saying that, but like you might be
There's
doing
girls
missionary,
there's girls
you're looking right at her.
I don't care.
I can see him. I told you,
yeah.
savage right when you walked
I
in.
actually don't, bro. There's literally girls
Never
I
kissed.
do not kiss them.
And you know what? They know that too.
course,
And
of
they're
course
sitting
they
there,
know.
they're just like, "Yo, this nigga
guy
won't
didn't kiss
kiss
me.
me." Like,
And they tried, and I'm like,
Yo, I chokehold you and grab you.
why though?
I don't know. Just
Why do you need the kiss?
because for me, because I'm very passionate, I need
Yeah.
that kiss. Like
Even
that
if it's a stranger?
Well, I won't ever kiss a stranger.
Yeah,
that
you're
I
not-
won't like ever feel like yo,
like
he's like. I guess maybe from men it's different. They're just
Okay.
trying to get their kicks. Like a woman, I think is a little bit more sheltered with her little.
Fair. Yeah.
Some of them
No,
are
that makes-
sheltered with
yeah,
their chuchis. So I'd want that would be my first initial thing is be like, okay, we're gonna kiss and see how that is. If that's good or not, then that'll play a huge role in
Yeah,
how
I don't know.
aroused I get.
Like I like
I
literally.
1,000% agree with you.
I do. I know. I get what you're saying, but I can skip that process. Like I think, for me, like if I'm, especially if it's not a chick that I'm really into like that.
But for you,
I
but
can.
for the girl, she's probably suffering.
I'm sure she might be, but
like salty a little
yeah, like but
Ryan
literally,
gonna get his.
literally, you know what?
Get
You know how I
his.
do it. I'm trying to understand how I do it. I don't. I'll like to avoid that kissing part. I'll go straight to titties. No, but that's how I avoid it. I'm actually being dead ass.
I'm laughing because I
think
know
about-
you're a titty man.
I am a titty man, but that's how I'll avoid it. You know what I mean? Like they'll be naked, we'll be naked, whatever, and I'll just be like, I'll do neck and like kiss and go to the titties and then start fingering and like. So I didn't have to kiss. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still aroused. I'm on their body, but I didn't go for the mouth, and then I'm fingering them and we start having sex, and I skipped that whole kiss.
Look at this guy.
But you understand how-
This
but
guy
okay, but you
is-
understand, though?
This guy is.
I
You understand how
look,
it's
at
like,
look at these lips. This guy is
They're made
taking
for that.
away.
I know.
but do you understand
Ryan, do you
how that
understand-
process
no,
can be
look at me.
skipped?
Ryan, do you understand that we're blessed? Look at our lips, bro.
They're not all getting that. They're not all gonna get these. Every girl's not getting these. But do you understand how that process
I
can be
get it.
skipped?
I get it.
Like if we're laying on bed and I'm just kissing you on your neck and whatever, blah blah, and I go to your breast and then go down. And then
But does she ever ever happened that she's like called you out on it right there and then,
like said kiss me?
yeah, like no,
Yeah.
And
Just-
how do you avoid that? You just move on somewhere else.
I don't feel like kissing.
Okay.
Like just super nonchalant, just like I don't feel like kissing. Like without being, I don't know, like don't ask me that. If I'm gonna kiss you, I'll kiss you on my own. Don't ask me to
Yeah,
kiss
that's
you.
true.
Don't ask me to kiss
Don't ever
you.
ask a question you want to know.
What the hell? Kiss me. What? Like,
It could be just like her dirty talk.
yeah. Anyways, next question.
She wants some more.
Like,
She's
kiss
like,
me.
no.
No, sorry. Yeah.
Rachel Lorenzo, she says, how do you go back to being friends with someone when you both are feeling each other, but circumstances won't allow anything to happen.
Like, as in terms of what? Like sex or relationship?
Well, let's just do sex.
Okay,
We're talking about sex.
how do you go back to being friends?
Yeah, how do you go back to being friends with someone when like you're both feeling each other?
And you have done something or you haven't yet? You just kind of you just liked each other and then nothing happened from it?
Too vague of a question.
Yeah, let's
otherwise
let's make it more specific.
Sure.
Let's say you've had sex with them.
So you can't go backwards. I don't believe you can go backwards.
I agree.
If I've inserted you, I can't go backwards.
Yeah. Once you've inserted me, you can't go backwards.
Yeah. I agree.
You have to cut it completely and be like, are we gonna do anything with this? No? Okay, then we have to cut it.
Have you ever been like fuck buddies with a person and then just try and be like, okay, this didn't work. Let's go back to just being friends?
Yes.
I've tried, but it doesn't work.
And how'd it go?
Okay, so I've never been in a situation where it was like, okay, we are fuck buddies. Like, this is established what it is, but that's what it was. And
But, like, acknowledged it, you're saying? Like, we're actually just having sex. Like, acknowledged it? You've never done that?
yeah, no. Like, okay, I've been in a position where I've just been having, like, me and this girl having sex with each other. We know that we're not going to date each other.
But did you acknowledge that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Both
were...
of you on the same page.
Yeah, we just never used the word fuck buddies.
No,
right?
no, but
So,
this is what we're doing.
So
So
who
what
caught
I'm saying-
feelings first?
yeah, and
Who got feelings first, you said?
who caught food?
There has to be.
There's always somebody.
I think she did.
Of course.
Actually, no, she definitely did. Yeah, but
Okay.
it wasn't. Actually, did she? I don't think she did, because like what ended up happening is we just
she
went.
stopped herself, kind of thing?
Yeah, we just like I'm friends with her to this day. Right? I
You're
don't
friends
talk,
with her to this day?
Yeah, I don't talk to her all the time, but like we're cool. Like there's no animosity, at least as far as I can tell.
Towards you.
That's the
or-
problem. It's like, that's the issue because we only can know as much as we're perceiving. Like,
Okay,
Yeah, you
like
don't even know
I
how
guess
I'm
we're
heavy
still
and
friends.
receiving.
Like, you have no idea. She's like, fuck, I still love
She
this.
might talk shit about you every day.
Yeah,
could be. Okay, so example, right? Girl that I was sleeping with,
Yeah.
like years ago.
It wasn't years ago. Stop it. Stop it. It wasn't
Yeah,
years
you're right,
ago.
you're right.
What?
It wasn't
Why are
years
you
ago.
lying?
You just, years ago. What?
It wasn't years ago. It was
I
like
feel like
what?
everything's years ago. Anyway.
Yeah, years
Every
ago.
time I tell a story, it's always years
Honestly,
ago.
like when I was like
I gotta
20.
deflect time. Okay,
When I was like
okay,
20. You
sorry.
know why I say years ago? Because if you put timelines,
He's just cracking his own jokes.
you know. I'm gonna say.
Right? You know you're just as bad, bro. You know you're just as bad.
I'm exposed guys in general. Guys just say years ago or a long time ago.
For what? Guys are cool.
We say it not to because ourselves.
Because if you put a timeline, whoever's listening will put things together.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you like a while ago. If you say like, oh, like 4 months ago. 4 months ago, I was talking to you.
But then you're saying about this. Other
Yeah,
girl.
like so.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Alright,
can't
alright,
put any time.
Okay, so
that's just a thing.
No, okay.
Oh, like a while ago.
while
It's like,
ago.
and girls
Okay,
like,
no. Just
how far a
just
while?
just to dead this. You
can't say 2 weeks.
Just to dead
Can't
this.
say a
A
month.
girl that I was sleeping with
Okay.
after my past relationship, right?
perfect.
So
At any given time. Yeah.
So we was gonna sleep
God.
together. It became clear that I did not want to be in a relationship with her because I didn't think it was gonna go that way. Fine, right?
Yeah.
Went our separate ways. She was upset that like I didn't want to be in a relationship with her, and then over time, her and I just became cordial with each other. Everything was cool, right? I went to one of my boys. It was like this gym session type of thing that he was running, and she was there, right?
Can you check that one? Sorry.
Yeah, she was there. Everything was fine. Like, there was no issues. Her and I, after, go to grab something to eat, right? Full disclosure, I did not go out with this girl with the intention to fuck after, right? It was just like,
Okay.
it was just to catch up. We're eating, and she was like, what are you doing tonight? Today was a Saturday. I'm like, oh, I'm probably gonna go home and edit. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm like going out with some of my girlfriends to this bar. Should be pretty fun. My boyfriend works there, blah, 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 blah. But like she casually just
Like
said
slip boyfriend?
slipped in that she has a boyfriend, right? And I was just like, I'm not awkward, but I will make a situation awkward because I find it funny. So I was like, oh, nice job like slipping in that you have a boyfriend now.
Yes,
Right? Because I was like,
Like, are you trying to jab me
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
care?
like
Like,
trying to jab me like I care. It's like, oh, you have a boyfriend now. Tell me about him. Like, how is it? And,
since you want to do this. Since you wanted me to ask you.
You want
so-
to ask you exactly.
and she's telling me about him, but then she tells me, I didn't tell you this because I didn't see you, but then she tells me that she was like still kind of salty about the way I said. And I'm like, why are you, in my head, I'm like, why are you telling me this? Like, I don't care. Like, you don't need to tell me this. Yeah. You think your boy would probably be happy with you telling me this? No, so don't tell me this information.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? And that was the one and only time where, you know, I was able to perceive something that, because I saw it.
Yeah, you're live, like, right? She's still not over this.
Totally right.
Yeah.
Every other girl could have been, they could be talking the most shit behind my back.
She could have dated the guy just to be like, fine, he doesn't want me, I'll get somebody.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
And then by telling me, she could assume that.
Or she was lying the whole time.
Could very well could be.
No boyfriend.
Very well could be.
Oh yeah, me and my boyfriend, we're great. Yeah.
Tell me about him. What's his name?
Yeah.
It's so true.
Thomas.
Edison.
Thomas.
No, it's true. Girls are like, I feel like when girls catch feelings, there's no going back.
Yeah.
Like I've been in one predicament where I would never be able to go back. Like, I can't. Because every time I look at you, I'm like.
Have you been on both?
Because he didn't want you?
Yeah. He's like, I don't want a relationship right now. How you guys love to say that.
Oh my God.
It's true though, right?
With you ever.
So
have you ever been on both sides though? Have you been on sides where a guy's caught feelings and you're like, sorry?
No.
You never had a guy catch feelings and you've been like,
buddy, and it usually just spans to be into something.
So you never had a guy that's like on you and you're like, sorry.
Yeah, but that wasn't really like a fuck buddy. Like we never fucked.
Or just a guy just into you.
So I'm just like, no, I'm not really.
But you never had a guy you've been with, it was into you and you're kind of like,
no.
Interesting.
And he's like, got you every time.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Or you have good picking. That's all.
I don't think it's good picking.
Oh.
I just think it worked for a little bit, and then we just both like figured out, that it was definitely not what it was. But
fair.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, before we move on to the other questions, let's answer the question that you asked. What's your favorite position, Ryan? Only one. You only get to pick one.
Oh, one shit.
One position.
No bueno.
Okay. To make this interesting, tell your favorite position, and then talk about a time where a position just did not work.
Like, that's good. Like a fail?
Yeah, like a fail.
Okay. 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 My favorite position. I go through.
You're living it right now.
I go through phases. Like I go through a phase where like a particular position is like my go-to, and I keep doing that position. But overall, like my favorite position is, I don't know if a name for it, but on my side, like on our sides. Sorry.
I love the position.
On our sides, her leg is like, I can't. It's a video.
Pretzeled.
I'm sorry.
It's like pretzeled.
It's like
she's
one
laying on her side.
One leg up, and I'm like,
in between.
But it gives it like pressure because it's like it's still closed.
Yeah.
It's almost like from the back, but
you're laying on your side.
We're laying on your side.
Is your back arch? Like, are you like body
I'm not,
body?
but I'm not fully laying down because I actually. Oh, this is so hard to describe. Okay, for people who will see the video. Okay, so basically, she's laying on her side. I'm on my side, but not laying down. So like I'm kind of upwards.
Yeah.
So I still kind of have leverage
that
I can kind of still push down, but she's laying down. Her legs are kind of together, right? So it's almost like from the back. But
it's spooning.
It's like spooning, but I'm up.
Okay, got it.
Right? Yeah. She's down, but I'm up.
Okay.
So it creates like a interesting tightness because her legs are still closed, but you can still kind of go in, and you actually lose every time as a guy. Like I avoid it because I'm like, I know if I do this, I'm losing.
I'm finished.
So they don't know that, but I'm like, I'll save. I usually save that for like after a couple of times where I'm like, okay, I can last longer on this time. But if I start with that, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. If I start with that position, I'm finished. Especially that nice ass, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out of here.
We'll leave the fails to the end.
Sure. Yeah, I don't even know what position that's called, but side baka.
This is tough.
You should take out the book.
I have to pick one.
The Karma Sutra is taking that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Next episode.
I'm sure they have that position in there.
Karma Sutra exposed.
You know how you said like it's kind of closed?
Okay.
And then like adds pressure?
Yeah.
Okay. I like, who was it that said they like when the girl's legs are on our shoulders?
Yeah.
I like that, but when the girl's legs are crossed.
In the air?
In the
crossed?
air.
Yeah,
they're crossed over like one shoulder.
Oh, and you just kind of hold on one side?
But then like you kind of like...
Angle.
You kind of like push them up a little bit.
Okay. Wait, are you?
So they're
are
like
you,
this.
Wait,
Their
are you?
legs are
Wait,
here, and you're just.
wait. What?
So basically,
what setting are you using? Is this a bed? Is this on the bed? Like, how are you doing this? So
It's on the bed.
So she lay on your bed and you're standing up.
I'm not standing up.
You're down with her.
He's on his knees.
It's various form. It's like
Okay.
it's adaptable. That's
Okay,
why
okay.
it's for.
Okay.
That's why this one is so sick. So basically, okay, she's laying on her back and she's
Her
on
leg-
the bed.
her legs
like
are up.
her legs are crossed and
And
they're
up.
up, right?
Yeah.
I could
Put
be
it over
holding
your
her
shoulders.
ankles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I could be holding her ankles. They could be on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then
You're in front of her thighs.
I'm in front of her thighs.
Okay.
But like if they're on my shoulder,
Yeah.
I could like
You can bend. You can.
it looks like I could do like a push up position.
Got
like,
you. Yeah.
and a whole workout with
Yeah, yeah,
shit, but
yeah.
it's legit, right? So that's probably one of my favorite positions. Probably because like when the legs are crossed, the girl feels it.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
feels it more. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably my favorite position.
Dope.
Everyone normally would say like Bacchus,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
but
that's-
like Bacchus is only good if the girl knows what she's doing.
Yes, and
Yeah.
she has
Yeah,
to,
and
she
she has
just
to
to
keep her
throw
arch.
it.
Yeah.
She has to throw it back. It
It
has to be. It has to be thrown. Like, it can't just be the.
Fine throne.
Like if I'm giving Bacchus, for example, you're in front of me. First of all, I will continue to push your back down
Until you stay.
until you stay down, and not just like that. Like I will press your spine until it goes down.
Chiropractic technique.
Yes, like a ramp. It has to. You have to have
We
the
have the
ramp.
Hot Wheel.
Make sure it
Dog,
works.
your spine has to be a ramp, like not a fucking bridge. No, not London Bridge, a ramp. Now, when it's ramped down, not all girls can do it because in that angle, it's difficult for some girls to throw it back, especially if they don't know how they're doing it. But if it's done properly, you can kind of throw their ass forward. And it comes like they can throw it back without changing any rhythm. So it's almost like I can just toss it and it just becomes automatic.
How
Like
much fat they have too, right? Like how much like cushion.
yeah. Because then it gets to the point you're literally just like just tossing, and you're not even. I can actually like, I can put my hands behind my back and it can just
it
go.
can still go.
It can just go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right
jeez.
now, that position, if it's done well, is a finisher. Like, Greta, I don't know.
No, because from my experiences, usually it's a finisher.
It's a what?
It's a finisher.
I
for
said
the
on that
yeah.
podcast and it cheeses me that it's a finisher because you don't want it to.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
said on that podcast with Ebony, if something is really good, I will go to my go-to move.
Yeah.
Which is literally where I just go, like I just put my hand on my head and I'll try and think of anything else other than sex.
Yeah.
Anything else.
Does it work?
Sometimes it works. Sometimes like the power is just too great.
The
And
power.
Girls can't do that.
yo, dead ass. Like Ryan knows. Like there are times during sex where you know when you're about to come, right? And you might not want to, so you kind of like slow
kinda
down.
you slow up.
on the rhythm.
Yeah.
I saw a girl tweet the other day. She's like, if a man ever like pulls out and then takes a deep breath and then goes back in, just know you have like 20 seconds left.
Really?
Because like it's real.
That's his countdown.
That's our countdown. Like if everything's going and then I have to pull out. I don't do it often. I have to pull out.
To give you a minute.
Not a minute, but if I pull out for like a solid
I will
3
pull out.
seconds,
I literally-
or like you
know
know,
my
you
secret-
chill, like you stop.
No, what I'll do is if if I'm about to come, this is actually a cheat code. Maybe it works for most girls. I don't know, but my cheat code. If it
All the
works,
girls wanting to fuck, you're listening and trying to do this right now.
who knows? If I'm about to come and I know that, whatever position I'm in, I'll just go super deep, slow.
Yeah,
Like so they don't realize I slowed up. Because if you go really deep, it changes a type of feeling in them, right? If you're doing a rhythm, and then if you're about to come, you just slow down and just press.
I do like
And if you just press, it's kind of like it slows them up, and they don't realize you're breaking right now. You're breaking, but you're still kind of
like
going.
a number. Okay, like just for the sake of it, let's say you do 10. You do like 10 pumps,
Yeah.
and then on the like 11th, it's like
Press.
press. And then you do 10, press.
You control the rhythm. I control this now.
But like, honest to God, like, which comedian was it?
What?
This is so bad because it might have been Chris Rock, but he was like, "Yo, if I tell you not to move,
Don't move. Yeah.
don't fucking
I
move
see
because
that.
you could move, you could sneeze, and I'm nutting right now."
Yeah.
Like,
I think that gives girls a break too. Like on the 11th joke, if you just like give us a
you
minute,
just
we
press.
just okay, we position and then we're like
That's 11.
okay,
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean?
but
That's
for
the
real,
bite.
that's what like ladies. That's what men are thinking
Yeah.
about. Like,
What were you gonna say though? Do you remember?
My favorite position.
Is that where you were?
Well,
I think you're saying something.
I went through mine. Go. What's your favorite position?
Go ahead.
see, I don't know if I have like a favorite, like, because girls are easier to. Well, I guess guys can finish to any move, or do you prefer to finish to any like?
Okay, this one thing I realized about us, which I don't know if it's the same for women, but we can come when we want to because it's psychological.
See, girls, it's not psychological.
Yeah,
well, it's half and half. I feel like you have to be in it. Like your body has to obviously want.
Yeah.
Like you have to be wet, whatever. But like, I could come on any position if it's done
properly. But that's the thing though. Like you can come in any position if it's done properly. What he's saying is like I can come in
at
like
any given moment
during sex.
That's what I mean. I can't. So it has to be whatever move it is. It has to be done proper and to like standard.
But you don't have a particular move you're like
that, like,
I really like
I always like
not the go-to, but just like when it happens, you're like
this is such a basic bitch move. But like when I'm on top, it's like the best shit.
Or you just
all the time
because you control it.
I control it.
But that's
even like reverse cowgirl. That's
cheating.
like my shit. Like reverse is.
I was gonna say reverse cowgirl is one of my areas.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. And if he likes butt, perfect. If he likes titties, I'll be all up on you. In a sense, like the other way, right?
Yeah.
So it just depends on.
I just feel like, I mean, that is a position, obviously being on top, but I feel like it's cheated only because if, for the most part, especially as a female, like obviously you guys have your clit, whatever. When you're on top, you're controlling where they're hitting in a way.
Yeah.
Because so it's.
We're like selfish.
It's not. No, it's not selfish. It's more just like for that to be. No, I would enjoy it, but I'm saying for that to be your favorite position, it's like that's kind of you control that moment. So
you control from back.
Not always.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. When you throw it back, it has nothing to do with me anymore.
Okay, but that's fine. But what if?
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not from the back when they throw it back. I'm out of control. That's
better way to phrase his question is: what is your favorite position where you are not in control?
Where it's mutual.
Where
it's mutual. Where the guy does something to you.
Sure.
What is your favorite position?
Because from the back, girl can throw it back, and that's nothing to do with me anymore. And I'm like, fuck, it's still amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of girls come from the back though.
Depends.
From a lot. Well, sorry, a lot of like my friends and all girls that I know.
Yeah.
That's usually like a guy's move.
They don't like it.
Okay, we'll do it obviously for you guys. But
compromise.
For girls, we'll compromise. Yeah. For girls, it has to be where either you're getting clit stimulated at the same time as penetration. It could be like
missionary.
It could be missionary. It depends. Fingers can be involved in other holes.
Yeah, missionary done well. Don't sleep on that, eh?
Trust me, missionary done well is like high up there. But like it depends what the female likes. So. Ugh, so X-rated. But like, okay, so if I'm like reverse cowgirl from the back, like you need to be like
doing shit with your hands.
Some type of other
your
thing.
Hands just can't be like holding my titties. Yeah. Like I don't care, or like making my ass clap. No, like I'll do that myself. Like thank you.
Yeah.
Like make sure you're occupied.
Actually, you know what works when she what works reverse cowgirl, which guys might know. They might not know, might know, maybe, is when they're doing that. If you put your hands on their back. And throw down.
Oh yeah!
If you throw down at their rhythm,
bruh, done that. Okay, so what's the sex fail that you've had?
Sex fail. So the first time I tried having sex in the car, I didn't know, like I didn't know that you're supposed to do it in the backseat. Like just
you don't have to.
Well, I'm tall. So like I have to go in the back seat. Like but my first time doing the car, I'm just like, oh, we just do in the front, like a front seat. This is what they do in the movies, like whatever, you know. Like, bro, like the steering wheel, my freaking seatbelt thing was in my hip. Like it was strange. It was strange. And then not only did it didn't work properly. I broke like the lever on my seat. Because like she was like I was trying to pushing against me and like the actual lever broke on it.
Oh my god, man!
And I was just like, this just isn't.
That's a huge fail.
And she got hurt because she's like my knee, like my knee's
pressed,
like
comfortable.
It was just my knee's pressing on. I'm like, just move. Hold on, just let me just.
Did you guys finish?
No,
exactly.
We just had to just chalk it up to the game.
It's so
I'd be like, listen, like. This isn't good. No.
It's so true. I hate car sex for that reason. Like,
I love car sex because I've done it properly.
I hate car sex. Like I can't move the way I want to move. I can't see what I want to see.
I haven't had car sex since high school. Like that's the last time I did.
No, I had it.
Date yourself. Date it.
A couple years ago, I had it like.
But it was it wasn't good. Like
car sex is done properly if you push all the seats to the front.
There's a system. There's a system in place.
You have to go to the back.
System or not system, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it does.
Well, maybe for me,
It makes the experience
easier.
better.
Yes,
Yeah, you
but
can
it's not-
finish, but it's not like
it's not the
top
great.
10.
Of
No,
course, not
for
the
sure.
greatest. It's more Crisis is like we have nowhere to go right now. I'm horny as fuck. Pull over. Let's go somewhere. But it's not a let's leave an indoor place
Yeah.
and go to the car.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
No. Like what?
Yeah, a fail would probably been like a sex too for me one time. But a fail was like a shower.
Someone fall?
I almost like broke my head.
You slipped.
Legit, my hand just and I just totally went.
Shower sex is so overrated, man.
It is so overrated.
It's
very overrated.
And
It's the movies,
like,
guys. It's just
doesn't-
the movies.
And then like your wetness gets
Yeah,
like washed off from the water.
yeah,
You know what I
and then
mean?
there's
Like,
and there's
not
like
the
this,
same
then there's the grip
wetness.
because the water
Yeah, it's
the
like
water
a
makes like this grippy
And then it sounds like gush.
this
Like,
grippy
it's not
feeling with
good.
your skin, and then when you get
Yeah, it's not good. I hate shower sex, so
Yeah.
I'll never do it again.
and if you're using with a condom, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shower sex with a condom is just trash.
it's just rubber and water.
It's just
not
what
good.
are we doing?
Some squeegees.
We just dry off and have sex in the bed. Like, come on.
Exactly. Like I feel like you could have a good makeout session in there, like hot and steamy.
Yeah,
like,
like,
that's good. Like a nice,
Yeah.
like some oral would be
Yeah.
good
But
in
to
the
actually
shower.
have sex,
But to,
yeah.
that's my
And
worst.
pool sex is overrated. Like it's just,
It's not good for us. I swear.
it's
We'll
not even
get,
good to have.
we'll
Yeah,
get,
the
like,
water.
bacteria
Yeah,
infection
the
or
water.
something.
The pressure has to go up. But anyways, sorry, what was yours?
Okay, so I remember you said you're talking about like go-to moves and shit.
Yeah.
So you do. I remember. Okay, there's like this one thing that I used to do, like with every girl that I was like really into.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it all the time, but basically, let's say we're making out, whatever, and she's against the wall.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very difficult.
I would like go down on her. So it's like I would be down on like one knee and like her leg would be on mine. And then this one time I picked a girl up, right, while I was going down on her. Right. So I like stood up fully and she fucking loved it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this on another girl. I did that. It was fine. I would basically be using the wall like to support, like to prod. And I remember the first girl I did it to, it was like my girlfriend at the time. She was like, holy shit, like no one's ever done that. So then like down the road, I did it to a different girl.
This is my shit.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, this is dope. I can do this, right? And this one girl that I was gonna do it to, like, had a leg on my shoulder, everything was cool. I had not worked out in like a month. I had not worked out in a month, bro. So she like
heavier?
she wasn't a heavy girl at all.
Thick?
She was a little bit thick, but like nothing that I can't handle, that I shouldn't have been able to handle. So this girl put her other leg on my shoulder. Everything's fine. I'm trying to like stand up, and I quickly realized like, yo, this is not happening.
Yeah.
Like my leg, my knee,
Buckle?
I felt a little buckle in my knee,
Yeah.
and like. Luckily, I didn't like stand up and have the
Fully.
power on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
girl.
You just kind of act like you're doing this on purpose. Like,
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just rock from this position, and then I'll put it down, and then it continue. But like that moment, like really humbled me because I was just like, yo.
Yeah.
You need to get back in the gym,
Yeah.
bro. Because like this could have ended so badly. So I call it a fail because honestly, like I did not achieve something that I wanted to do, but it was like it could have been a very bad situation. Right,
I feel like being pinged against the wall is like
it's
a good
A1.
move.
it's very movie-like.
Oh, but it's
very
so.
good.
The first time,
I
yo,
still like think about the first time that
the
happened
first
to
time
me.
I
I'm like,
did it, the first time I
You
did
gotta
that
throw
move.
them against the wall.
oh, it's, yeah, and
That's
then I
like-
had like almost a bruise on my back. It was,
The
like, my
first time I did
shoulder
that
blade kinda
movie, because
hurt,
I'm pretty sure, like I was in high school and I saw that shit in a movie. I'm like, I'm gonna try this.
That's good.
I'm gonna try this,
In
and I
high school
did
you
it, and
did
it
that?
worked. Yeah, this girl that I was dating in high school, I did it to.
Damn.
Like literally, like as I was like going down on her, like I was picking her up as well, and I remember her going like, "Holy shit!"
Guys,
Like
we're doing this.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, you're like, what the?
I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing this.
That's good.
So
Good move.
next question, actually, this one literally just came in, and it's very interesting. Are you familiar with the Aziz Ansari situation?
No.
You know who Aziz Ansari is?
No.
He's a guy. He's a brown dude that's in that show Master of None on Netflix. He's like a comedian.
Oh, yes. The one who just got charged.
The one who just got like the girl came out and said
Yeah,
that.
it said that it was like the worst date or something.
Did you
Was
read
him?
that or no?
But I heard about it.
Oh, okay, because this girl just asked us Vinny91. She said, what do you think of the Aziz Ansari situation? Right? And basically, this girl had gone on a date with Aziz Ansari like last year.
Yeah.
And she was saying in this article that it was like the worst date she's ever been on. They went out to eat.
You took her back to the hotel, right?
Took her back to his place.
His place, sorry.
And basically she was saying that she made like a bunch of non-verbal and verbal cues saying that she didn't want to have sex.
Right.
It was kind of like buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
Like she went into with a mentality, and then she's kind of like, I don't really know if I want to do this anymore. But it was kind of really like
too late.
Not too late. It makes things sound strange because it's never too late to say like I don't want to do this anymore. It's just It's just when you've led someone so far, it feels like it's too late, and then
because she like in this article, like this is words that she was saying. She was saying how like I was going down on him. I was doing like a bunch of different things. Like I think she went down on him like 3 times, right? Like in the same thing. And you know, she texted him the next day saying how she didn't think what happened the night before was like totally cool and everything like that. And Aziz texted back and was just like, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't realize that
I didn't pick up on your cues.
I didn't pick up on your cues.
Okay.
Like I totally apologize.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He apologized. This was last year, the day after, he apologized.
It was already squashed.
But then this year she comes out again, right? Because I think he either won something or got nominated. I'm not saying that is her motive for saying anything.
It's very fishy.
But like
perfect timing.
When I looked at the situation, I was really confused because I was like, all right, let me read this article. Let me read what she's saying. But he apologized to you the next day.
After.
The day, like you brought it up to him, and then he
said, "Whoa, shit! Sorry, like I didn't feel like I didn't realize that, but sorry if you felt that way." Cool.
And then they never texted again.
So why are you at this?
My confusion was like, why is she saying something now? Like she was saying that she's saying something now because she didn't
like
really validate.
Yeah,
she didn't validate what happened as sexual assault, and now she does. Right?
Because now this whole like thing like hashtag Me Too is coming out. Right?
Yeah,
so I think
she's like, let me get my story out.
Let me get my story. Let me jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
And obviously, if she felt like that, that's on her. Like I don't know the story. But like you're 2 adults, and if you went down on him multiple times, like okay, like what, you just wanted to suck his dick, and then you wanted to like do something else, and you're like no, like I don't know, I don't see.
There should have been no contact at all. There should have been no contact. I'm going home done.
Exactly. If you didn't want that, you didn't do that. Just say I'm not going back to your apartment.
It's just Anyways, what was the question?
That was the question.
The
question
was
just
to discuss.
What do you think of it? Right?
Yeah.
It's.
Wait, I feel like there was another. Oh, the other question was about the sex talk. I'm trying to find who said it.
Oh yeah.
I did see that.
Okay. Random black girl is her name. I'm not just calling her random black girl.
I have to specify every time.
I have to specify every time. What's her actual name? Let me see. She doesn't have it. When/if the time comes, how will you guys talk to your kids about sex? What would that conversation sound like? Or will you leave it to their sex ed class? Because I know many black people don't talk to their kids about this subject growing up. That's why we're always running to change the channel when those scenes come on the TV.
You know what's really funny?
That's funny.
Me and my friends actually talked about this last week, which is funny. Like we're like, what are we gonna do? Like when we have kids, we all have kids and shit. Like, and I'm gonna say what I said to them. It's like I'm going to be very raw with my kids.
Me too.
Like very raw.
Graphic.
Like to the point where it's like, yo, your dad was a dog. Like that raw. Like listen, son or daughter. Like if it's a daughter, this conversation is different.
You're gonna tailor it.
Huh?
You're gonna tailor it.
Not tailor it, but like I feel like it'd be easier for my daughter because as me, I'll be like, this is what some bad guys will do. Like,
oh, okay,
yeah. Because I can honestly be like, listen, there's sometimes I was a fucking asshole. Like, so this is what some guys might say to you, and I've done this. And as her father, I could be like, listen, I have manipulated some girls. Yeah. So like I feel like she'll really understand if I'm telling her, listen, like your father has manipulated some women
Yeah.
into thinking certain things or let some women on or whatever, and guys will do that to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they'll tell you certain things, and it's like, I'm not just saying this to you as a father. I'm telling you, like, I have done this to certain girls, so
As a young
look
man.
out for this because I have done this and I know exactly what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she'll understand me more rather than me being like, don't talk to guys, don't do, like, this is dumb. That's dumb. That's foolish.
it's not reality.
It's not reality, and
It's
you'll just
true.
make your daughter rebel, right?
Exactly.
For my son, I feel like it'll be more difficult for him, for me to have a conversation with him. I think I'll kind of give him his free reign. Just be like, listen.
Really?
Because what, like, guys are so wild. Like, I'm like, guys are so wild.
Some guys are wild.
Like, just guys. Guys are so wild that I can't tell my son, like, anything. Like, I can educate him.
Or guide him in a
But
sense.
I can't, I really, because I'm trying to think as a guy, and I'm like, what can my dad tell me? Nothing. Like, he can, you know what I'm saying? What can my dad have told me? Nothing.
Okay, so being
So
like,
I can, what, go ahead.
so a wild guy you are, I guess, whatever.
I'm not wild.
Okay, what do you know what I mean? If you're like very like raw, would you maybe like tell your son like, would it maybe like you would not tell him certain situations because you don't want to like seem like you're like the best like amazing cool dad who like had his
Yeah,
pick and stuff?
'cause-
Like you'd be like, no, I'm very respectable. Like you have to respect women. Da, da, da.
Exactly, and that's kind of why I'm saying like I would be honest with him, but
To some
like
extent.
I would tell my daughter deeper things
Right.
because she's on the receiving side.
Okay.
I wouldn't tell him as many deep things because I'm not trying to make a dog.
Exactly. Okay, good. That's
You know what I'm saying?
I was-
Like,
yeah.
she could hear certain things. And I'm like, listen, this you're a woman. Like, I can tell you, like,
Can
there's
we be honest about something?
What?
Though? Like,
What?
I'm gonna be real savage,
Yeah, yeah.
but like, you know, the type of talk you're gonna have with your kid if you identify your kid as good looking. Like,
Yeah,
if you know
you-
your kid
you
is
have to be
ugly,
like,
if
listen,
you know
son.
your kid is ugly,
Yeah.
you're
You're
less likely to be like, listen, don't.
you're go out there have fun.
out there, have
You'll
fun.
meet somebody. Yeah, it'll be cool. Talk. Meet some friends. Go meet some friends.
But if I have a boy and I
Yeah.
know my boy is ugly, then I'm gonna be like,
just go out there. Just have
Try
fun.
your best. Okay.
try your best.
Yeah.
Try your best.
Let me know if you meet the girl. Like, it's cool.
You know how they always
Let me know
say
if you
that,
need condoms.
Yeah.
you know how they always say like you get punished. Guys
I
get
feel like
punished
he's
by
gonna have
having a
all
daughter.
girls.
Bro, I'm getting girls
Yo,
For sure.
I'm in a group chat.
100%.
I'm in a
I'm
group
getting
chat
girls
with a
for
bunch
sure.
of dudes that like I used to work with, much
Yeah.
older. They all had girls this year. 6 of them. They all had girls,
There you go.
and they're all they literally were just
I
like,
kind of want one though.
Yeah, we're gonna have 4.
And the thing is,
you can afford.
the reason, and I'm not as worried about it because I have 3 sisters.
Okay, that's good.
So like you know what I mean, I'm not. It's not like I've never been around it. And, like and they come to me for stuff. So it's like my daughter would just be like, if my siblings were mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm already kind of doing stuff with them. Like, and my little sister's not little anymore. She's 18. So she comes to me and
Oh, that's
without
good.
airing out her business, she told me she's bisexual.
Yeah.
Like recently.
Yeah.
So she has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jan.
Did she
But,
tell people?
Well, she told my mom. And she,
Okay, so it's out.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know if I don't know if she listens to my podcast, but she does. She listens to my stuff. And she loves everything I'm doing. But I support her, and I'm proud of her for doing that because she recently told me she has a girlfriend and blah blah blah. And it's interesting because I've like for the longest time she's been my little sister, my little girl, like my little sister, and I it wasn't until probably maybe she was 14 or like 13, 14 that I was kind of like I don't think she likes guys.
Oh, really?
Like I kind of felt I would never say it,
Yeah.
but I just and she's a kid too, right? So I'm like, but there's some tomboy issues and some like tendencies, sorry, not issues. Where I was kind of like, but at the same time I didn't care because I'm like I don't really want guys around here anyway,
Yeah,
so
who
like
cares?
whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I started to see them like, oh, okay, cool, and she would come to me about certain things, and she did have a boyfriend, she did have one, so I think she was trying to like see if this is normal, you know, but. Then recently she told me, she's like, yeah, like I broke up with him. I was like, oh, like how's the boyfriend? Oh, not with me. I was like, oh, cool. Like what happened? Oh, I have a girlfriend now. I was like, oh, whoa.
Okay.
Like okay, cool. But like I was like, but
Good job.
I think even that aspect is interesting for me to have now with her because if that happens to me, and my daughter, like.
Yeah, you never know if
I
you're
have no idea. You have no idea.
Exactly.
You're so used to like your daughter's gonna be hetero. She's gonna be the guy. And I prepare for guys, and like we're just
Yeah.
programmed that way, but not necessarily. Like I have to prepare if my daughter
for anything.
says, "Hey, I want to bring girls home." I'm like, okay,
You just want them to have healthy relationships
Yeah.
regardless of who it's with.
right? And then I think the only reason I bring that up is because I don't know if I would say the same things about guys about myself to her
exactly.
if she went
Asked
that
you.
way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how I would talk about that. I feel like I'd leave that to the wife.
I don't know. Like I
what-
feel like I would, because
You still tell her about yourself and guys? I mean, yourself and, sorry, and girls?
Because
like how you are with girls, even though she doesn't care about guys?
Yeah. I talk
It's
about
more the relationship.
it's more, it comes down to the relationship, right? Because at the end of the day, no one, if I have a kid, they're not going to know more than I do.
Right.
In terms of like relationship stuff, because we've been through a lot, right? We have a whole podcast about fucking relationships. So if my kid tried to tell me like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, I'd pull up the YouTube channel and be like, listen. But
that's awesome. I have evidence.
Go ahead. Go watch your pops. Go watch your pops.
Back in the day.
But you know, I mean, okay, if I had a daughter, the conversations would, I already know that I don't want to be a father where I'm like overbearing and telling you can't do this, can't do that. But I would definitely just.
That's how you create whores. I said that is how you create whores.
Yeah, I would.
Can't go here. Can't go there. Oh yeah.
But I would definitely tell her.
I'll do it after.
I definitely tell her, like, listen, I really cannot control you, but all I can tell you is this is what guys do.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'd be flat out honest. I'm like, this is what guys do. I know this because I am a guy and this is what I used to do. And even if it wasn't something I did, I have friends who did this, and they're still my friends. Like, they're not terrible people, but like this is what guys do.
I think one thing that we both have to note, though, especially about that conversation with our daughters, future daughters, we have daughters, is that we have to address the issues of how certain guys can be, but we do have to address that how good guys are, right? Because otherwise we can't make them feel like, right, guys are gonna do this, guys are gonna screw you, like, because then they just. Because what I want, you create like a negative.
What I want is what I ideally want is I want to identify to my daughter like what
a good man looks like,
good characteristics or traits that she should see in a guy. Because what I've come to the conclusion of is the way that society is set up is basically set women up to basically be chosen, as opposed to them doing the act of choosing in a relationship. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like
a guy's gonna pick you.
They make it out to seem like, okay, women have to do this to find the right guy. But it's like, I want my daughter to be like, nah, I'm not gonna date you because you don't do this for me. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to be like, I'm choosing you for this reason. So all I can do is tell them like, yo, these are the things that I think you should be looking for. These are the things your mother thinks you should be looking for. But you know, these are signs of what a guy does. Like they don't change over the generations.
Fuckboy like, tendencies, and then obviously like a wholesome guy.
They don't change. Like there are things, guys. And look, you know what? I'll be upfront. I think that I'm a good guy, right? I think I'm a good guy, but that doesn't mean that I haven't displayed fuckboy tendencies, right? So I think it's important to note also that, dude, no one's fucking perfect. You know, right? I think that's really important too, because like I don't want my son, for example, growing up with this idea that, you know, the woman that he is gonna be with has to fit this perfect fucking mold. Like, for example, there are a lot of guys growing up that have an issue with women that are promiscuous consensually, right? Like, guys need to understand that girls want to have sex just as much as guys do, right? And the sooner my son understands that, the sooner I feel like he can mature and be like, yo, it's really not a big deal if she has sex as long as it's consensually and she's safe, which is exactly what I should be doing too. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of layers to it. But
what about you? You have kids yet?
I think. Do I have kids? No, I don't have kids yet. That was funny.
Yeah.
Do you guys have kids?
No.
No, I think the same thing. Like with me, it was more my mother like telling me. I guess I don't know if it was. Was it your dad that gave you that talk?
Okay, this is what I'm gonna tell you earlier. Like, my parents never had this talk with me about
so I had
sex.
it with my mom.
That's strange.
But here's the thing. Okay, my parents never ever had to talk with me about sex. I have 2 older brothers, right?
They did.
I don't know if they did.
Oh, you remember?
I don't know. My older brothers are much older than me. So when I moved to Canada, they moved out within like a year or 2. So I didn't really grow up with them, but I have a tight relationship with them. But the one time, like, my parents like sat me down and kind of had a conversation was because I was going to McMaster. My ex at the time was going to Ryerson. She would sometimes come to Hamilton and Mag and just stay over, right? So she stayed over like one weekend, didn't tell her mom, right? We were young, like 18, whatever. And her mom found out And her mom, like, I was cool with her mom, but her mom was not cool with the fact that her daughter was like sleeping over, didn't say anything, right?
Okay.
So then her mom told my mom, because they were like kind of tight. And I remember coming home and my mom and dad just sat me down in the kitchen, and my dad was just like, Zamor, like, you have to understand, like, this is like her only daughter.
Yeah.
You can't like,
it's a treasure.
you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to go. You have to go through these steps first before. Yeah. And like, I didn't even really think about that, right? Because she didn't even think about that herself. So I was like,
are both young.
We're both young, whatever.
Puppy love.
But then at that point, I was just like, oh shit! Like, her mom now knows that like we're having sex and like this is real weird and all this type of stuff. So that was the only time where like they vaguely had a conversation about sex, but my parents have never actually sat me down and been like, "It's what you do. It's what you don't do."
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I've just known like, this is how I roll. You know what I mean?
Like with my mom too, she never really said like how to do it. She was like, make sure you're safe. Like there's obviously things you can take, obviously like precautions. And I was like, I almost felt like I knew more than my mom, because my mom was so like, she's like Italian. She's very like proper and like.
You're like, Mom, I've been doing this.
I know.
Like,
The first time she literally asked me, like, I went to Jamaica with my ex-boyfriend, and she's like, it was so awkward. It was breakfast, maybe the day after I got back. She's like, so, you know? And I was like, like,
you know.
Did you have sex? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, so how was it? I was like, so I had to lie. Like, I can't just be like, yeah, it's not my first time. So I was like, yeah, it kind of hurt, you know, like.
Oh, you played it?
I played it. I was like, yeah, I heard. And she's like, okay. She's like, so, like, tell me about it. I was like, Mom, like, I don't really want to go into details right now. She's like, you know, I'm like, but yeah, we did it. And it was okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And then I'm like, Mom, please drop it. Like, I don't want to have this conversation with you in terms of, like, how I lost it.
Yeah.
But ever since then, like, it's been open the gates, because I'm nasty as hell, even at home, like, no filter. Like, we're very open. And my dad's the same way. So I think, like, I picked it up from him. Like.
Oh, you never spoke to him about it, though?
No. Never spoke to him with my dad. My dad just kind of like knows
like
through the no. We don't have that kind of relationship. It's more like a friend instead of like a father figure.
Okay.
That's another special
friend
relationship. And so even with my brother now, I feel like we like baby him in a sense. Like, Nico, when it's the first time, like, please, I'm like, make sure it's special. And make sure it's like with the girl you like. He's 20.
Okay.
Or 21. 20?
Oh, he's still virgin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're positive?
I'm 100% positive.
Okay.
Which I'm like proud of him, because he hasn't found that girl. Because there's a lot of thotties apparently now that like, he's like, if I lost it, he's like, I could have lost it. He's like, but I don't want to lose it to that or in this situation.
Standards.
And I was like, so I taught him that a little bit. So I think that's like with me, I've had the sex talk already with Nico, right? So it's
you kind of gave it to
him. I already gave it to him already instead of like my parents. So I
almost think it's easier to have that as a sibling.
Yeah, but I'm 6 years older than him, so I've always looked at him as like not like a child, but like
he's a baby brother. Yeah.
He's my baby brother, and obviously I'm gonna like say everything. So I feel like I'm already kind of like prepped to have that sex talk, and I'm ready to have that sex talk. But I hope that it could be like a mutual, like me and my husband will
together,
because then you can give the perspective of a woman and a perspective of a man, like you said, right? So I feel that's very important. But I'll definitely have that early on, because
your parents live together.
Yeah, they're married.
See, this is why my situation is different than both yours. His parents live together. Your parents live together. My parents, I've never lived with my parents together in the same house.
Oh, okay.
So I've had both talks.
Okay.
And also, to throw something in there, one parent is religious, one parent isn't.
Okay.
So
who's who?
My dad
is religious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad's religious. My dad's religious, and my mom isn't religious.
Okay.
Right. So, when I had to talk to my dad, he was super awkward.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And it's funny because he's cool in normal aspects. Like, we always talk about everything, joke about everything. But when it came to that, and I don't know why he was awkward about it, because he had me out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I'm like, you've had sex
before me.
Like, I exist because you've been fornicating. Like, essentially, right?
You've been copulating.
Yeah.
But, so it's like, okay, when I talked to him about it, like, I think I was maybe 18, 18 or so. And he just came to me one day. He came to my room, just knocked on my door. He's like, hey, I was dating a girl at the time.
Okay.
So she's like, hey, so, yeah, how are you and so and so, right? I'm like, we're good. Yeah, we're good. And I'm 18, so I'm just like,
Right.
I'm literally on my laptop, just like, yeah, we're good. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. So things are good with you guys, you know, like, and he's like literally the textbook awkward dad conversation,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, yeah, things are cool. Still on my laptop, whatever. He's like, oh, okay, so you guys having sex now? And I lied, right? I was like, no, I'm not, because
you knew how he was.
I knew how you. Well,
Okay,
not
yeah.
that I knew how he was, but he's the religious side, and I didn't want to
Yeah.
get that conversation of like no sex before marriage.
Exactly.
And blah. So I just avoided. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm kind of waiting. I'm, we just kiss here and there, And he's like, oh, okay, cool. So he left that, and we didn't talk about it for like another 2 years, right? Now my mom on the other side, she's super blunt and super
Right.
forward. So she knew I was having sex before me saying anything to her. She's like, he has a girlfriend, he's having sex. Like, so how she said it to me, she's like, I think one day I came over.
How old are you?
Same year. They both talked about it, but she was more just like, I came over to her house. I was living with my dad at the time, but I came over to her house, and she basically was like, "Are you using a condom?" And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? Are you using a condom?" I'm like, "What are you talking? Are you using a condom?"
Yes or no?
I'm like, "Yes, I am." Like, and she's kind of like, "Okay," because I don't want any grandchildren. I don't want any grandkids right now.
Yeah.
Make sure you're using a condom. You don't have to lie to me. I know you're having sex.
Yeah.
You're 18. You're a
Good.
grown man. Do what
Smart.
you're doing. And I think, and since then, like, me and my mom have an amazing relationship because I don't feel like I have to like tiptoe and like
Yeah.
right. And
You're
I feel like
shielding her.
religion has done that to people, that make people feel like
We have to lie. In a
we have to
sense.
lie, and
Yeah.
it's weird because you're lying to someone that, as much as I love my dad, is a hypocrite. Like,
Wasn't- yeah,
I love him, but I'm alive. Like, what?
Yeah.
Right? So, I feel like for a conversation like that, like, I feel like the pressure is what causes the awkwardness.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you just open to your kid, like, listen, like, you're gonna have sex at some point. If you're not already having it, like, by the time
Yeah.
we're talking to you right now, if you haven't already done it, you're going to, and let's just give you education about it,
I think that 18 is a little late too, though. Nowadays, 18 is a little late.
8, well, I lost at 14, so
You lost it at 14.
I did.
I'm not judging.
I
you.
lost
That
mine
was
late.
crazy.
I lost mine at
lost mine late.
14.
How old are you?
I think I was either 17 or 18.
That's I was 17.
17, 18?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I was 18 actually.
Yeah, I was a dog.
Damn. No.
I was 14 years old.
But did you know what you were doing?
Well, I watched porn and shit.
You watched porn when you were 14?
Yeah.
I think you don't understand how many boys are watching porn at that
Kids
age.
are watching porn at 14.
Yeah.
Come on.
I feel like I'm a late bloomer, but when I bloomed hard.
Of course. I'm not surprised.
When shut up.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying it because like I'm the same way. Like
Yeah.
I had sex late in my career, and then it's been fucking uphill ever since.
Yeah. It's good. Are
Absolutely.
you tired of sex?
Am I tired of it?
Yeah.
That's a good question, eh?
Okay, I have an answer for that actually.
No, I want to
So-
hear him first.
No, because I hold on.
What?
No, go ahead. Answer it first.
What? Okay. Am I tired of it? Because I've been doing it for so
Are you?
long?
Yeah. Are you tired of the actual act, not the person? Obviously, a different person is gonna bring us something different. but-
I've noticed a decline in excitement for it. Mm-hmm. So like there was a time where obviously I'm just, sex is great, like
Yeah.
it's the best thing. I've noticed, like, I've been doing it. I'm 14. I'm 27. So it's like 13 years. I've been having sex for 13 years.
When you say it out loud, it's scary.
Yeah, it's madness. So it's 13 years, but yeah, I've noticed a decline in the excitement for it, and
The
like
want or the
I'm still excited doing it, but like the desire to
want it.
like to want.
Got it,
Like if I see a girl, I'm like, she's pretty, she's cool, but I'm not like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of
like when you're 18, 19.
yeah, I'm making that. I'm like, that's all. That's it. Like now I'm kind of like, I'm cool.
What
just
else can she
I'm
offer?
cool just talking. Like what does she do for a living?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
It's true.
It's
But-
very like yeah, I agree with Ryan.
what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say that it's a lot easier for me now to just pass up
Wait,
on sex.
way easier.
You know what I mean? And it's not because I have sex super often. It's just I know that if I want to have sex, like I can make it happen, but I'm just not. It's not something that I strongly require to have all the fucking time now. Whereas when I was younger, I'd be like, oh fuck, hormones, like
Yeah,
fuck, right? But like now I'm just like, oh, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
But you
And
know,
it's- sorry.
I also noticed that there's my perspective is kind of skewed because just because I've been having sex for 13 years, it's like, without putting myself on blast, my number is not low, right? So that also plays a factor.
Yeah,
right?
so that's why I asked you.
It could have been 13 years, but I only sex with 5 girls.
Yeah.
So I'd still be like, this is still great.
Right.
It's 13 years of time, but I'm not having sex a lot. So,
right.
But my number is not low. So it's like, now I'm kind of like,
you experience both ways.
I'm like time and number, and so I'm like,
and kills.
It's kind of like,
you know what I'm curious
if it's thrown at me now, I'm like, like a girl's like, oh wait, let's have sex. I'm like, nah.
I'm
like,
curious.
Like,
so are you picky now then?
Yeah, very.
Like even with like sexual
very,
acts? See,
very.
That's why.
Definitely.
Like, I'd be scared to have sex with you. Like if
I've been told that. I've actually been told that.
Intimidating.
I've been told that, like, I've literally, and it makes me. At first, I was like, why? What are you talking about? But then when I really thought about it, I'm like, fuck, because they're like, you've been like enough girls, whatever. Yeah. I feel like I'm being analyzed
or judged,
and I'm like, I'm not, but I'm like, maybe I subconscious, like, I'm like, if you talk to a guy that's been 3 girls, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of him, right? Yeah. Like 3 girls, I'm gonna be all 3 girls. I'm gonna be the best. But if it's a guy that's like up there, it's like, I don't know where I'll fall. Like, does it, you know what I mean? So I do get that aspect, and I think that's another reason why I'm more picky now, because I'm like, I don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to do this.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Me?
Because I'm curious to know, do you ever like look at people and wonder how much they've had sex, or like how many people they've had sex with?
Oh my god, all the time. And I wonder
That's
like
normal.
how they have sex.
Okay.
Like how they do it?
Oh my god,
Okay.
I'm such a visual person with my job.
I've wondered how, visually, but I've
All
never
the
like
time.
looked at someone and been like, I wonder how many people she slept with. So my
Like right now, I'm like
my question to you is, okay,
like I'm like seizing it up.
if you had to put a number on me and Ryan,
Is what we're doing?
No, I don't want to do that.
No, I want to know.
That's cool.
I'm actually
good with
interested. I would love to know, because I'm curious to know like what people think.
Okay, you know what I'll agree to right now?
No, you don't have to say your number.
No, I'm not saying my number. I'm saying
But
what I'll
how many people she thinks that like
yeah,
I slept with.
I'll let her answer that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying what I'll agree to right now is I'll just say over under. I'm comfortable saying over under. I'm actually comfortable saying that. For the love of our podcast, guys.
Do you actually know though?
Absolutely.
You know how many?
100%.
Oh, you do?
I have a list. I'm not even joking.
You have a list.
Yes. Why did I say that? But yeah, I did.
It's over 100.
I'm sorry.
I think it's over 100.
Under.
It's under 100, so it's 75 ish.
How many do you think I have?
You?
Yeah.
Is it under or over?
You're doing multiple.
Well, it's so
Are you
75.
going to-
No, that's it. I just want to know if it's
Or 75. 80. Like what?
this one time. Okay, fine. I didn't know it was like a one time.
81.
I didn't know I had one shot.
I suck your battleship.
84. 3.
Okay,
Under
that's
100.
it. Under 100.
Under
Okay,
100.
Oh my god.
Just trying to
No, that's it. That's good. Okay.
pinpoint. Yeah.
Under 100. That is such a big number to be.
Okay, fine.
Well, no, I obviously it's probably more than 50.
Okay, hold up. Let me do something.
Is it over 50? Because you probably
Okay.
know.
Over 50.
See, so between 50 and 100.
Okay.
I say 30. Z. Do you know though?
That's over.
Oh, I'm good.
You're good.
See, I knew it.
You're good.
So do you write it? You add one every time?
She's good.
You add one every time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And not for it's not even for pride, to be honest. Like
It's
it's
well,
literally for knowledge.
yeah,
and
no, for
and
sure.
I've actually had a situation where a girl's like, "Oh, I'm pregnant," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "No, you're not.
I listened to that
You're
podcast.
you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you're not.
Because you're not on my list.
You're not. Like not that you're on the list, but
Yeah.
I know when I had sex with you versus the next person I had sex with.
Right.
So I'm like, there's no way you're pregnant
Yeah.
that time frame. Or if you are, it's not mine for sure. Like, but if I didn't have that, I'd be like, I'd kind of be like, I don't. But
Yeah.
I was literally like, I had sex with this person. And that girl, and I know,
Yeah.
or actually what I did for that situation, I actually asked the girl that I had sex with after her. And I'm like, when do we have sex? I actually forgot. And she's like, whatever, April, whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. So if I had sex with you this day, there's no way this person is, right?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously for health reasons.
Exactly.
Right? If
Yeah.
I ever catch anything, I'm like, it is you.
It is you.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah, that's
Like,
good. I feel like
yeah.
if you're gonna have that kind of numbers, like you have to make sure you're
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
good. I say 30 for you.
That was
No, I'm
interesting.
under 30.
You're under 30?
Yeah.
Do I get to guess again? Like under 20?
Yeah, I'm under 20.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my
double
knowledge.
digits, but I'm under
This
20.
is new to my knowledge too.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. Normally at the end of the podcast, our guests ask us questions.
I've been asking you questions. If you
I
haven't
know.
noticed.
I know.
She's actually a good guest.
You
Really
can
good
ask
guest.
it. You can.
And she's
ask us-
psychic.
You can ask us like specific.
Actually,
specific
I
question.
do want to know. So
Sure.
now that you're not like influencers, but I guess I'm gonna call you influencers. I feel
Yeah.
that's what I'm just gonna call you there. People know about you. People like know you. So do you think that your future relationships are gonna be publicized quicker? Because I know, Ryan, you like to put your girls on blast. Like, this is my girl, like, wifey, bae, da-da-da. And then obviously when breakups happen, you have to like take that all down. Are you a little bit more selective in what you, or how fast you post now, or who you post?
Absolutely. I think I'll always post because I am a very open person. I think I'll always post, and the reason I'll say I always post is because I think a woman entering a relationship with me
Should know.
knows that I'm social,
Okay.
and not that I need to post, but I think because I post everything else, it would be weird for me not to post that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if I share everything else publicly,
Yeah.
then it's like, but I'm not gonna let people know I have a girlfriend. It almost be like what, like, if that's your personality already. Like, I already share like my videos,
Yeah.
my writing, photography, whatever. But I'm not gonna share my girlfriend. No one's gonna have a girlfriend. They know everything else. It's like,
Yeah.
then it kind of makes them feel like you're hiding. Even if I'm not, it's kind of be like, you're a social person, so why would you?
Why
I
not?
just
Yeah.
want people to know. Like, it just seems off.
So how
You know what I'm
early-
The
saying?
thing is though, like a part of that feels like you're really doing it for them as opposed
100%.
to because
But
like,
there is a part of me that does it because I literally enjoy, like, if I'm with a girl and I really
Yeah,
love
it's
her,
a good picture,
I'm like,
yeah,
this
put
is
it
my
up.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm proud that this girl is pretty, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a large part of me that I'm like, especially my personality, especially with the history I've had, and especially that I have sex with different girls, whatever. Me posting is almost like a repellent, to be honest. Because
It is.
It is. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm not posting because I'm like, I want everyone to know I have a girlfriend. I don't mind, but it's more like, I know if I don't do that, certain girls will still message me thinking like he's available or whatever.
Exactly.
Or I know if I don't post her that
she might feel
feel the way, like, if a girl messages me, and even if I'm like, no, like, it's nobody, and she's not posted, but it just, you know what I mean? Just from my personality, it's very awkward if I don't. That's all it is.
So backstory that, are you gonna wait longer now?
I definitely will wait longer. Not necessarily because of the time frame I care about. More just, I feel like I post what I'd be posting now about my girlfriend will be in a very different way.
Okay.
Like, before I used to flaunt. Like,
Okay.
I post a picture of her, just a selfie she sends me, I just post it on my page if I like it.
Got it.
Like, I'll just flaunt. You know what I mean?
So now
make
it's
her
different?
feel good. I'll be like, oh, she posted a picture on her page. I'll take it, repost on my page. Oh, thanks, babe. Like, whatever. I think now it'll be more just like, if we go on a trip, you'll know I'm with someone.
Okay, got it.
It'd be more like there's
little more
purpose.
mature about it.
Yeah, like
Not
there's purpose. Like,
necessarily,
I was not mature by myself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in LA by myself. Like, no, I'm with my girl.
Sure you
If I'm
are.
with my girl, like,
Yeah.
I'm not just and I'd still be posting regardless. Like,
See,
I'd be
am
posting
I-
myself. Am I just be posting myself alone,
No.
even though she's there? Like,
You
it's
wanna
just
share the experience.
You know what I mean? Like, it'll be more.
See, I'm
Purpose behind it.
very much the same way, but it's like, okay, you know the type of shit I post on my current
Yeah.
page right now. It's like, I already know, like, I won't post my girl on my page unless I think it makes sense with everything
Yes,
else that I post.
it's that purpose.
Right? Otherwise, like, she'll be all up in my stories, like my snaps, all that type
Yeah.
of shit. But like,
the actual
she
page
might not
itself.
literally be on my page unless it's
a shoot.
unless it's a shoot or it makes sense.
Yeah,
because
you
like,
can't just put a random selfie there.
No.
That's like all nice and
I didn't put
Exactly.
random selfies on myself. So it's like,
Exactly.
you know, like, that's the only time where I feel like someone might be like, yo, what's going on? Are you dating someone? Are you dating a girl? And I'll just be like, yeah, I am. But like, I don't post her on my page because it doesn't.
I'm not
make
shooting
sense.
her, and it doesn't like, and it's, unless it's us, and even
Yeah.
if it's you, like, you don't really post
You know?
like that.
So
But-
that's my only thing. But
Because that's what I think, as a girl's perspective. Let's say, like, if to date either of you, it'd be like, okay, you have to make sure that you are okay with that lifestyle. Yeah, because like obviously you are gonna be publicized. They are gonna know, and obviously, fangirls are. Well,
comes
in
with it.
general,
It
thirst
just comes, yeah.
In general, right? So like attention comes regardless. So,
But I do think that I haven't reached a situation like in my entire life where I've always been known per se, like since high school. Like, people have known, especially with basketball and stuff. People have always known me, but I've never I've never reached this issue where I met somebody and they're timid that this
That's
comes
good.
with me. You know what I mean? Like, I never had someone that's like, oh, like, this is your life. Like, I think anyone who approaches me, you approach me because you found me a certain way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you saw my videos or whatever it is that brought you to me was public. So if I'm going to start liking this guy, I know him. Like, I know that this is what I'm going into. Or you just want to approach me.
Yeah.
Because I know there's girls out there, and I've been told by different people that are indirect of those girls that, like, oh, a girl wants to talk to you, but she's kind of nervous that, like, you might not like her, or you seem very, like, you're an asshole or whatever. Like, I've been told different things. Like, you're intimidating, you're an asshole. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even know. But it's just their persona of what they perceive from
Well, I think it's just how you articulate yourself sometimes. It's
Maybe.
like you're very vocal.
I am.
Right? And then that could be scary to some people because they're like, oh my gosh, he's going to like maybe talk about me on the podcast or he's going to share. And some people may not want that, especially if they're like more
But you know,
shy
like
and reserved.
the thing is, well, depending on the girl, like, okay, I'm at a point now where I don't, if I start talking to a girl and she brings up my social media in any sort of negative way, or like this podcast, I'm immediately not interested. You know, like if she says like, oh, like, why are you following this person? Or like, why are you liking their photos? It's like, what the fuck? I'm a photographer. Like I do photography on the side. So like this is part of what I do, right? Or if she fears that I'll talk about her on the podcast, that's kind of like a red flag for me because she has to be okay with that. And I don't use names. I would never use names, but at the same time, like I pull from real life situations when I'm talking about this stuff.
Same with my podcast too.
I think for all of us, like especially with that podcast, I think at this age we have to understand anyone that approaches either of us, any of us, sorry, that is interested, you have to be, well, one, I'm looking for someone who's confident in themselves regardless. So, and if you are confident in yourself, then
That should
me
be a
talk,
threat.
you know, I'll never be like, my girlfriend Greta did, like,
Yeah.
it'll never be like that. It'll be like this girl that
Yeah.
I might be seeing, or someone that I've seen, or I've had an argument with, or have whatever with, but it'll be very general.
Yeah.
I'll never be like,
Name
we did this
drop.
and argued about this because of her family. Like, no, it'll never be that specific. But you have to be okay that, like, I'm gonna discuss a real life situation and how I dealt with it, whether it's wrong or right.
Yeah.
And I'll never bash you, like.
Yeah.
And you should respect me and I
Or
guess
know
trust
me enough.
know
Trust
me
me
enough
enough,
that's like
yeah.
I would never insult you or like embarrass
Yeah.
you. So like it would never get to that point where it's like,
Exactly.
don't talk about me on the podcast. I'm not talking about you, but
Yeah.
come on.
But kinda
like,
am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
That's the thing. I go through that too with some people that I may have been talking to. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pull your experiences, and if you feel like the story is you, then it could be you,
Right.
but it could not be you. So
and if you
just have
fucked
to-
up, then shouldn't have done it.
Like my
You
ex,
shouldn't have done
my
that.
ex
then.
one time, like literally, like said to me, he's like, "Why did you say that?" I'm like,
Why did you do it?
"Why'd you do it?"
Like,
I'm vocal as it is. Like even if I didn't have a podcast, I'm obviously like I'd like to talk
Yeah,
even
yeah.
to my girls. So I was like, you should know, like I'm not just gonna keep quiet and cry about it in my room. I'm gonna express it, and how I express is by letting it out.
if
So-
you're embarrassed about you doing something wrong,
exactly,
to
I'm like,
me,
you shouldn't have done it in the first place. You're a
That-
fuckboy, right? So
yeah.
I'm like, that's what it is. So it's true. Like people who are gonna come into our lives should know the platform that we're on and that we do like to share, maybe more than others, but that's just who we are, right?
Right.
So yeah,
Any other questions?
no, I'm
No,
good.
you're good. Dope. Well, give us your socials again. How
I have
people
a
can
couple.
you. Go ahead.
Okay,
List them out.
that's
Go
funny.
for it.
So I have a beauty page, which is Greta G Beauty.
What kind of beauty do you do?
So that's basically all my aesthetics. So I proclaim myself Mississauga's brow girl.
Mississauga's what? Sorry?
Brow girl.
Oh, brow. Okay.
Okay.
Brows on fleek
Okay.
all day,
Dope.
every day.
Yours
Don't
look
look
nice.
at my brows.
They look nice.
Thank you. And then I have my regular, which is Amore Kika.
Amore.
Do you want me to spell that?
No, I'll put it on.
Okay,
under
good.
there. Yeah.
There you go.
And your podcast again?
Podcast is before 30, but it's not after 30 podcast.
Got you.
Okay.
Okay, and that's
So
on
I'll give you
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud,
iTunes,
iTunes,
Google Play?
Google Play. Yeah.
Dope. Stitcher.
Stitcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stitcher on too.
We're not on Stitcher, are we?
Yeah.
Oh,
He put us on Stitcher, so it's
I don't think we need it. It's not that. Is it big? Is Stitcher big?
no, we don't get a lot of hits on Stitcher anyway.
But yeah, no, thank you for stopping by.
Thank
this
you.
Was, this
Yeah.
was very, very open.
Yes.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't think we actually went this
Nice and
deep
raw.
sexually yet. We've been doing this for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
January's a year for us. So in a year.
Oh yeah, I should have brought champagne.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't think since a year of podcast, like probably the other deepest episode was with Ebony.
Yeah, Ebony was pretty.
I think.
Where we talked about like sex stuff.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like really got into it.
Yeah.
This got specific like to position to certain things, which is really cool.
I knew it was gonna come too.
Yeah, so this was great.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you for stopping by. So I'm glad you support us.
Of course.
We've brought this from ground up, which is dope.
what I like.
We hope to see you at the live show, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm excited to know more details.
Speaking about live show, we are going to have that late February, guys. Date will be announced as soon as possible, but it'll be the latter end of February. Other than that, you have anything else you want to drop?
That's it, man.
Nope. Nothing else I got to drop. Your boy's quitting on Friday. That's it. Thank you guys for stopping by. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be my last day of my work, so that's also dope. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by another episode of We Need to Talk. I'm Mr. KOA alongside
Tallboy.
Yes, We Need to Talk podcast.
We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk.